team is just going for a 5 support ban draft, and Crisp on the screen smiling and laughing and looking happy about it now, but I'm not quite sure how you're going to be feeling about it when you load into the game, champ, because I'm not quite sure what kind of champions you're going to have available to you. Let's see what the last ban comes in here from FPX. It is an Azir ban yet again. Doing B's champion pool is pretty much untouched. Still has the Akali, the Ryze, the Orianna, especially RNG. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Orianna pick come in here because, I mean, with such heavy support ban emphasis, there isn't really much. You could go for supports now in fear that FPX picks away the more premium support. And it looks like between Alistar, Galio, Gragas, and Not, it looks like Not is what RNG view as the more premium support pick as Ming. Looking pretty happy on that. Let's see how well he can do. The Maokai, which you haven't seen since the nerf of Imperial Mandate, is hovered. The Galio pick is there too. I don't think Galio does particularly well into Not, if I'm going to be completely honest, because I think the taunt doesn't trigger with the when the hook hits you from afar. Regardless, FPX will the Orianna hover. This is exactly what I kind of expected. FPX have a pretty scary top side playing team composition, while RNG of course have a pretty dominant bottom lane to play through as well. Let's see what the mid lane pick is here. Victor of course is still up, as is the Ryze. Akali can be played as well. It could still be a Jace mid, and they could send someone else top lane like a Gangplank if they so chose. Victor seems to be the hover of choice here, so it looks to be scaling mid lane. They could also go for the Zoe, because the problem Wei had was that he was continuously pushed in. He had lanes that were continuously pushed in, and then he couldn't get any help at all, and he was just ran through by Tian. Now let's see if RNG have managed to identify the problems they experienced in round 4, and have managed to fix those problems and come into the final series of the Spring Split swinging. Wei looks pretty comfortable. I'm not gonna lie, I think he's stronger than Tian is in the beginning. On the top side, Negri very much has a winning lane, will be dictating the pace. Mid lane is scaling, and bot lane, I'm pretty sure Gala and Ming have the more aggressive combo, which means FPX are most likely going to be looking to play through Nuguri in the top side with both Tian and Doing B, and RNG on the other hand are going to want to try and play towards bot side with Xiaohu, trying to be as safe as possible. Let's see how the game unfolds, ladies and gentlemen, as game 1 of the final series to determine the representatives for MSI 2021. This is more than just a battle of pride. This is more than just seeing who gets to call the Spring 2021 split their own. This is more than just a fight between two teams just looking to be number 1. This is a chance to represent their region, the by far most competitive region out of any of the 4 major regions. In fact, out of any of the regions on the planet. This is an opportunity to showcase, especially for some of the people like Xiaohu, who's been in the league for so long, who's been with RNG through thick and thin, through what feels like the entirety of the organization's founding. Here we go. Game 1 kicks off in just a matter of seconds. Now, a quick swig of water. Let's look at the runes. Nothing too surprising coming in here from either side. A ton of phase rushes coming out for the side of RNG, but it's to be expected. Udyr, that's pretty much what you go. Victor, of course, about the same, and of course, Xiaohu is gonna want to stay as far away from Nuguri as possible. So phase rush makes total sense. Now, Xiaohu isn't completely stuckered in this lane. He, of course, does have his melee form knock away, which, potentially could save him, but chances are Nuguri, if he lands a stun, will be able to tear into Xiaohu. Xiaohu, I'm not gonna lie, this is the calm before the storm. He is going to have an oppressive lane by far. Wei is not always going to be there to babysit him. All Tian kind of needs to do is get some vision in the bottom side jungle, and as soon as they spot out Wei clearing out Krugs and Wolves, it is kind of bad news bears, I do believe, like as a caster previously said, for Xiaohu. That being said, in the EDG versus FPX series in the semifinals, we saw in Game 3 and Game 4 just how dominating, how important the Jace pick was. So it is by no means going to be a useless pick, but there's a chance that he is rendered entirely useless depending on how the game goes. And without further ado, RNG arrive in lane first by not giving away a leash. A hook comes out onto the Galio. Galio does not have very many options available to him at level 1. He is kind of like an Alistar in that regard. Push is going slightly in favor of RNG, and they would most likely hit level 2 first. They do have the combo that will allow them to go more aggressive. The choice of going aggressive is very much more available to them, as Galio has got very, very easy to see initiation, as Chris is forced to flash out hook going in, being hooking him at level 1 and transforming into level 2. Fantastic little combo coming in here from the bot side. Chris flash is gone, does not have Hex Flash. There is no way he's going to be engaging up onto this Tristana. There is no way that he's going to be able to engage up onto anybody pretty much except for Ming, but Ming does have flash, as already half of the first plating goes down in favor of RNG towards the bot side. In the top side, actually, Nuguri is slightly behind in terms of CS and in terms of experience, as well, as he is still level 2 to Xiaohu's level 3. Because of that, Xiaohu, while trading in the minions, is able to just knock him away and get a little bit of safety, a breath of fresh air, as already the first plating goes down in 3 minutes. RNG well and truly playing towards this side, knowing that Tian did start up in the red side based off of the leash, and knowing that he will be in the other half of the map right now. Wei just here to ensure that his top laner does not get ganked. He's not here to get a kill, he's just here to deny a kill if it so happens. Tian rounding the corner, starting up the Scuttle Crab, as in the mid lane, Doinby is being pushed in. Crying does not have much mana, but he has a much bigger HP pool. Will not really be able to contribute much to this fight, but auto attacks as he walks up. Wei is just being escorted from the jungle. I do believe Rift Scuttle Crab went over in favor of Tian, as Tian walking forward now with his trot. Unfortunately, will probably not be able to get anything. Is running towards the bottom side of the map. Wei at half HP does have, at less than half HP, sorry, has about 100, maybe almost 200 HP, as Ming walks up with him to escort his jungler. Probably break down the shield, doesn't need that, I'm sorry, that is an ooh dear we're talking about. And just like that, nice little team play coming in here from RNG. Wei already off to a pretty good start. Being even is a good start in my opinion, as in the mid lane, Crying opting for a Doran's Ring rather than a tier, while Doinby opting for the tier instead, as RNG's bottom lane continue to just continuously push wave after wave into the tower, already acquiring themselves nearly double the CS as LWX down here. Meanwhile, Crying stepping up aggressively, just trading back and forth a little bit with Doinby. It looks like in terms of push, Victor has the slight advantage, being able to harass and push at the same time. Both junglers now completing out the second clear, as Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds time. FPX, I think they're gonna have a really hard time playing around any lane that's top lane. That's the reason why, that's the reason why I think they're going to be playing towards top side, is because I find it difficult for them to play around bottom side. They've got no engage per se. They can perhaps try use the Hack Rim to push someone into Crisp, but Crisp is just kind of he's not that useful right now, as Nuguri jumping in onto Xiao, who's trying to stay in front of him so that the knockback will not be able to get him into safety, as Ming actually rounds the corner. Fantastic rotation coming in here from Ming. Unfortunately, he's only level 3, so he needs to be slightly worried as the hook goes wide. I'm not quite sure if he actually wanted to hit that hook, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Wei is in the area as well, so heavy emphasis coming in here from RNG, deciding that they don't need to put any pressure, any additional pressure onto the bottom side. In fact, let's try and get Nuguri behind, as the flash hook comes in along with the accelerator shock blast. Wei flash in for the bear stats, as well as Xiaohu jumps in with To the Skies, and just like that, despite knowing that Ming was there, Nuguri is still taken down because of the surprise appearance of Wei rounding the corner behind his tower and allowing Xiaohu, just Ming's presence allowing Xiaohu to get a push out onto the wave, and a beautiful dive executed there by the members of RNG. Interesting play. This is something I definitely did not expect to see. I'm not gonna lie that the possibility was there, I mean evidently, but I most definitely did not see that. Dragon wasn't even traded from across the map. That's how quick, precise, and fine-tuned that dive was, as Doinby definitely going to get disrupted here. Crying low on mana, but still has the HP advantage yet again over Doinby. Looks like he can't help but to hit these lasers, so it seems. Dragon has spawned, and the bot side jungle for both teams is starting up. Gala having to play a little bit safe over here, but it's nothing. He doesn't really need to worry too much, because with Rocket Jump as well as Flash, there is almost no way that Chris manages to get up on top of him or at least CC him for long enough that he would be in danger. Ming actually blowing his Flash early has been so key, because Chris can't close that distance in a non-telegraphed way, which means that Gala is completely safe, which means Ming, after pushing out the wave, after showing some presence bot lane, can easily roam to mid or top. So far, his only roam has gone to his top side, as Xiaohu drops a ward over to try and find out Tian. Unbeknownst, actually, I mean, at this point, beknownst to them, Tian is, of course, in the bottom side of the map, clearing out his jungle as is Wei, with the, I don't know, a slight gold lead going in favor of RNG, which is clear to see because they have an automatically winning lane in the bottom side. And then they've also managed to get one beautiful gank off. Tian walking through, the Scuttle Crab has been spotted out. Is just going to continue his clearing. I think Wei can kind of, he does seem to have mid prio, and he does seem to have bot prio, so I'm pretty sure that he can go in as in comes Wei as Chris gets hooked up yet again. This is most likely going to be his death as Elderbex does have his Feather Storm available to him. Ming does have Flash, will have a hook in a few seconds, does not have Depth Charge however, as Wei rounding the corner and a beautiful hook coming in here from Ming. Ming so far being the main playmaker. Everywhere he goes, plays are being made. In fact, even in his own lane. Just now, like previously mentioned, that Flash being blown onto Chris was so massive. And once you get hooked as a Galio, you cannot get away from a Nautilus. As a stun coming in here, Nuguri trying his best to put some pressure, but Xiaohu's got the wave in a fantastic spot, standing beneath the comforts of his tower, being able to harass Nuguri, but Nuguri able to sustain it out with his blade dance as the first dragon falls in over to the side of RNG's pocket. Interesting. Tian trying to get a little bit back across the map, just stealing away the top side jungle as Wei needs to, I guess Wei just needs to console himself with the fact that this is just how it is. He's managed to get his team ahead with a very solid gank. Tian just stealing away the red buff. Crisp is in the area now. He is the one to rotate, but Ming is up here as well along with Wei, which means although Tian and Chris might be safe, Nuguri needs to be slightly cautious as Ming is walking right up towards the tri-bush ward. Nuguri most definitely spots that out as pings are going down. Will RNG try and contest this Rift Herald? It looks like they will, as Tian starts it up, is getting a bit low on mana, spamming out every one of his rampages onto it, but it looks like Ming with his recall being channeled signals to me that RNG not interested enough to try and throw the game away for this first Rift Herald. FPX get that without contest. Meanwhile, in the bot side, looks like Gala has got himself a level lead aside from that CS lead he's gotten, and is just trying to chunk out the tower as best as he can. And just like that, the second tower plating falls. Gala ring auto attacks through time after time after time. The entire bot side of the map is empty, is quiet. So RNG is feeling pretty good, I'm pretty sure. Too many pretties. As Buster shot coming in with the bomb to try to just harass out Elderblacks as Tian rounds the corner. Xiaohu sees a blast planted Hecarim right into him. Onslaught of Shadows is available. Nuguri has his ultimate still. Flash, in spite of the flash, he still gets tagged by as Nuguri is just alley-ooped a Xiaohu by Tian. Tian stopping his auto attacks, just keeping stride with Xiaohu, escorting him, as I would say, back to the fountain. Nice play coming in here from FPX, but I believe as the game goes on, FPX are going to be put at more and more of a disadvantage as Chris jumps in, actually manages to land the Justice Punch onto Gala despite Gala having the rocket jump, but knowing Ming is in there, the depth charge comes in, knocking out both Elderbergs and Crisp, and just like that they disengage. If Wei is in the bottom side here, this could be signaling a dive as Chris is still level 5 to the level 6 of Ming, but Ming does not have his depth charge anymore as the taunt comes in as well as the uppercut, and just like that, trade kills coming down, Wei going down for Chris. I'm pretty sure this is more in favor of FPX as Ming looks to be taken down as well. Has mana for a hook, probably doesn't have much leeway, however Tian is going to be able to keep stride with him, and Elderbex gets gifted over Ming. Unfortunate play coming in there. Chris, despite being low, able to get off his taunt as well as the Justice Punch, knocking out Wei as the Phoenix Flames tore Crisp to shreds. But in spite of that, good play coming down. Will Tian use the Rift Herald on the bot side as Xiaohu is being busted up here by Nuguri. Nuguri does not have any more spells, will not be able to gap close onto Xiaohu. Xiaohu so far playing exceptionally well, is even in CS, which is a lot more than you could ask for, I feel. And he just stands to collect this wave. Chris has rotated up again. Chris is only level 5, does not have that long range engage available to him. Will he be able to make a play onto Xiaohu here? Xiaohu, I think, realizing that Tian could be in the area, is not going to play particularly aggressively, because the fact that Tian was bot side means he's probably cleared up bot side, means he's probably coming up here, means there's no reason whatsoever for you to step up for any part of this wave. So Crisp isn't the one that he's afraid of right now. Technically it is Tian, and by far and beyond he is playing that, most definitely he is playing this right. Meanwhile on the bot side here, Gala just hammering away, chiseling away at his tower. Ming rounding the corner. Featherstorm is still available on the side of Elderblast, as is Flash. Ming does not have depth charge just yet, so all he will have is a hook. He spotted out on a ward as Tian face checks into Xiaohu and Wei, bear stuns into the skies, and Tian, just like that, is muscled out of the jungle of RNG. Will they still attempt this? A 2-4-2, but Tian at a 3rd HP, Doomby rotating up as well, but realizing it is all called for. Not. As finally Chris is level 6. Buster Shot coming in yet again to harass Elderbex. Elderbex taken so incredibly low. Needs to be careful. A hook, getting clipped by a hook here will indubitably lead to his end, as Ming by himself has definitely enough damage to take him out. Interesting plays coming in here. Whoo! Elderblex looks like he's opting to complete his Essence Reaver first rather than go for his mythic item. Is very low on HP as yet another Penguin Bomb gets thrown onto the tower. So for RNG, I really like the way they're playing this. They're just letting Gala solo pressure and leaving Ming up to his top side as Justice Punch disrupts the hook coming in from Not. Not is standing under tower, tanks 2 tower shots, but Elderblex with the chunkage he got previously needs to step back as soon as Gala steps forward to try and alter him. Realizing that Chris doesn't have his Justice Punch, doesn't have his shield, his taunt, which means that more likely than not he's in danger as Wei rounds corner level 8. Ming does have his ultimate. Chris, this one is definitely coming for you as... Actually, no, it's going to go for LWX. Because LWX, of course, does have his ultimate available. Tian is walking now into his bot side jungle, knows that Wei is there, spotted out on the ward as the Rift Herald jumps in onto the mid tower. Doing B yet again. Oh, getting some nice chunkage onto Crying. And just like that, the bot lane of FPX are recalling right now. The question is, will RNG match the recall? I mean, they're going for the second dragon now. It looks like they won't match the recall, and Gala's just going to try and siege out this first tower before the 14-minute mark. Of course, every time he has the bombs, he is going to be in a comfortable position. As look, here he goes again, just chiseling away at it, somehow managing to harass Chris at the same time. As 10 rounds corner, Ming is at quarter HP, does have his ultimate depth charge, but Chris is taken so incredibly low, is saved a bit by the exhaust onto Gala, but Gala with the rocket jump resets is just going to ride this one out. Ming is in the areas, Crying rounds the corner as well. Wei was closer by, but Tian able to pull one back. Chris so far hasn't been having the most spectacular game, but has been able to at least get something back every time he's died. Tian is 2 levels up onto Wei right now. Yet again, FPX hammering down hard onto the jungler of RNG as Gala just narrowly escapes getting his recall cancelled. One plating going over in Constellation towards LWX. Will Wei just try and run him down? Level 9 to level 9 are both the champions on the screen, but Tian is in the area as well. Chris is walking towards mid lane to try and secure out some vision, I believe, as Crying's teleport comes through. Rift Herald is spawning in a minute's time, and Nugri so far has just been farming. Xiaohu playing so incredibly far back, realizing that he has no vision in his top side and that Doingbi has disappeared towards that side. Crying, trying to get some vision for his top laner. Unfortunately, will not be able to do so as Chris is up here as well. Xiaohu just opting to risk it to disguise use to try and clear out the wave as the Galio ultimate comes in. Nice just knockback coming in as Xiaohu nearly has his flash up. First ultimate coming in there from the Galio, really not doing too much as Gala just walking forward and one-shotting quite literally the tower as the continuous pressure from this Tristana and without having a support that can jump on her means that RNG are they're just winning the game by default as the flat smack comes in Wei, taking away his own red buff from the prying hands of FPX's jungler as a tower is traded on the other side of the map. So things are not catastrophic right now for FPX, but by far and beyond, it is a lot better than it has ever been because RNG actually are in full control. In fact, they're just going to take themselves this tier 2. The tower damage coming in from the Tristana after completing her Kraken Slayer is just too much, I suppose, for any tower to withstand. And yet again, it's now in favor of RNG. Slight advantages going in their direction. Full bot side vision has been acquired and FPX trading away that tower for a Rift Herald, which is pretty much a tower also, especially if they use it mid lane, can just drop it over the Raptor's wall. A favorite of Ming as 10 rounds corner teleport is coming in there from Doing B. Crying, using his flash, but Onslaught of Shadows is available, is not used actually, as a nice flash is enough to get him knocked into his tower, and the Chaos Storm along with the Gravity Field was enough as well. Rift Herald is going down, which means that the outer tower for mid lane will be falling in favor of FPX. Indubitably, Xiaohu is here to try and support Crying as much as he can, but the tower is destined to fall. One outer tower available for the side of FPX to take, for the side of RNG, I'm sorry. And FPX doing a good job just keeping their 2 outer towers. In fact, top and mid lane are doing perfectly fine. So in terms of towers, everything is even. In terms of gold, RNG slightly ahead. In terms of kills, everything is even. In terms of CS, Nugri ahead. Even in the jungle, pretty much even in the mid lane, and slightly ahead in terms of Tristan. So it's a fairly stable game. I'm just thinking that RNG have more tools available to them with the knot. Just off of the knot versus Galio kind of thing they've got going on here. They've got a lot of tools available to them just off of their knot pick. So I'm kind of liking RNG's position here in this game. Nuguri could be caught in transit, needs to actually get his stacks up before he can be considered a true menace, as Crying is pushing out in the top side. Does not have teleport. Doing B is walking to catch him as Nuguri face checks into Wei and Ming. Depth charge comes for him, and an extraction plan through the blast plant is taken from RNG. The two playmakers, the two shot callers of RNG, just calling it and just, going with it, I suppose. As Xiaohu picking up some waves for himself, pushing them straight into Nuguri. Nuguri, I'm sad to say, this pick might be losing its flavor at this point in time, because I don't think a team fighting Irelia is a particularly fun thing for anyone, no matter how good you are at Irelia, unless you snowball your lead incredibly. So far, he's gotten 1 kill and suffered 1 death. Xiaohu, on the other hand, has only gotten 1 death and suffered 1 assist. It's a fickle thing, all this KDA depends so much on the champion and everything that is related to it. As third dragon of the game is spawning 50 seconds down, Ming and Wei in the mid lane trying to tussle for as much. Wei and Xiaohu comes in as the Justice Punch closes the distance, allowing the taunt to come through. Wei just pushed back, but that flash and the Nimbus Cloak means he's got so much movement speed. He just sprints out of there, doesn't want anything to do with that. Nope. As he manages to steal away the Scuttle Crab and just sprint out of there. Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. Mid and bot prio in favor of our FPX for this point of time, but Xiaohu is down there to try and wrestle some of that prio back. Vision heavily in favor of FPX at this point in time in the river, but RNG have a couple of TP wards at the red buff. In terms of TP, Xiaohu has his up, but Crying does not. Crying, however, looks to be walking towards the top side. Is kind of being shadowed by Wei. Interesting play here. Looks like they're going to give up this dragon in favor of farm. I kind of like this because you can afford to give them 2 dragons before you start contesting again. In terms of items, let's see. Mythic items available for pretty much everybody. Of course, LWX detouring and going for his Essence Ring first item, but he's quite significantly far behind in terms of items, it seems, as Gala, having soaked up the entire tower, is actually about half an item ahead with that Phantom Dance now completed. Nuguri is still working towards his mythic item. Another detour taken by the members of FPX as the final outer tower of the RNG side gets taken out, traded for the opposite side, with Crying and Wei running up there to secure that out for themselves. Mid lane tower looks to be sieged up. Gala, if it's just Gala versus LWX, is most definitely going to go down, as well as Gala does so much tower damage with the bomb exploding yet again. Basically, I really like this pick coming in here from RNG, and sometimes you don't see such effectiveness coming out of the Tristana. Sometimes you see the Tristana pick as being kind of effective in lane, but this is actually a really good pick. It rounds out what they're trying to do so effectively. As Baron is spawning in 30 seconds time, let's see how the game continues to unfold before our very eyes. Whew. So far, a lot of pings going down, and right now it's a stage of the game where Vision is kind of the main point of contestation. Ming does have his stopwatch, so he can afford to go quite deep and have a chance of getting off a second rotation of spells, maybe even surviving, as Tian and Doingbi running into the jungle alongside Crisp, trying to get as much vision as possible in preparation of this Baron. In terms of Baron damage, FPX most definitely have a fair chunk of it, but so do RNG. Lots of damage on either side. Decent engage again. I'm in favor of RNG's composition slightly more. Gold has evened out perfectly because the outer tower is still standing for FPX in the mid lane, unlike the side of RNG, but it's because in spite of having the superior pushing strength of Tristana, are actually only even when it comes to number of towers taken. Oh, damage percentage, Nuguri is number 2. Wonder who number 1 is. Anyways, in the bot side here, Xiaohu just trying to push this out. Nuguri steps on and Ward Ways in the corner. It is a shadowy situation, but Tian is spotted out on the pink ward, and immediately the top and jungler of RNG instantly back out of there, realizing a 2v2 is not what they want. You don't want to fight into the strength of FPX, and right now the strength is all in Nuguri pretty much and Tian. Doingbi is still kind of in a supportive position, nearly has his Seraph's Embrace completed, while on the other side, looks like Crying is quite far away from completing his second item in spite of being ahead in CS, which is kind of odd. I think he hasn't shopped in a little while. Teleport coming in there from doing B. They have Crying completely surrounded. No one is in the area as well. Xiaohu does have teleport, but looks like Crying is going to try and teleport out. The ball is a bit too far, but Flash Sombrero coming in from doing B. Chaos Storm is dropped along with the gravity field, but the last auto attack coming in from doing B is just enough to take him down. Nice little play coming in there from doing B, using his ball to get the vision, and then Crying nearly teleporting out, thinking he was safe, but a Flash Sombrero coming in there from doing B. Having to use a lot, but just like that, they can start out Baron. They do not have Orianna ultimate for this team fight, however, and RNG are most probably going to try and get something back. Xiao, who does have teleport, needs to use it ASAP. Rocky uses it in the mid lane. It might be a little bit too late as the dragon is at 2k HP. Wei is level 12. The blast cloud coming is he flashes in and goes to 7 HP as Wei jumps in as with Ming. Ming is left high and dry as Gala is trying to get auto attacks off across the map. Ultimate coming in from Galio, but Tian is nearly one-shotted as the shield comes in. Xiaohu is knocked up. Gala is taunted up, but no one is here to follow up on it as Wei is chasing Tian out of the jungle. Gala double kill coming in here. Will Xiaohu be able to cancel the back of the Elder Blacks? It looks like he will not be able to. And Tian managing to escape as well. RNG. The Baron was at 7 HP at one point, luckily going in favor of FPX. And in spite of being a 4v5, that's the one thing I appreciate about the LPL. They realized that despite being a man down, maybe even 2 men down, they must force a fight. They cannot give anything. They cannot and they do not give anything for free. So if you are never going to have a free Baron, it's always going to be a fight following that Baron. There is no doubt about that, as we see doing B's pro player POV, just throwing his Q in there to see, oh, there he is. And then kind of losing vision after calling the ball back to him, but it is enough. A lot of auto attack, a lot of damage coming in from that last auto attack, and we see here, look at the Baron HP. Literally, the death charge comes in, knocks out Wei, but Chris flashing over the wall, CCing out Wei, and then the smite coming in. Ming and Wei both in the pit, but Gala completely untouched, just trying to peel people off of his support. The Galio ulti really doesn't do too much here, as Tian is nearly exploded out here, and then Gala kiting back with Xiaohu, flashing in to just one-shot Nuguri with the buster shot as well, and then Crisp is left alone high and dry between Xiaohu and Gala, and is just taken advantage of. Baron is still in favor of FPX, however, but Gala is just making short work of the wave as LWX eats a thing to his face as in comes Tian with a nice little flank, but Ming managing to stop him. Also of Shadows used to get out, but Wei is just jumping onto Nuguri. Gala jumping in, but Crisp is there in the area. However, Ming and Xiaohu are there to back up Chris as Nuguri jumping in onto Crying. Stopwatch is used. Nuguri is stunned up by the gravity field, but eventually taken out. Nuguri is so incredibly low, gets slapped down by Wei as Gala, if he's able to get one jump off, it's going to be a big play. Tian jumps in, perhaps leading himself to his death. Gala is just one-shotted by the feathers behind him, but manages to take LWX with him as a 4-for-4 trade coming in here. Still an even battle coming out between these two absolute titans of the LPL. Holy goodness, as Doing B is most definitely going to be able to kill Wei if an attempt is made here on either person's life. Ooh, Tian coming with a nice flank. It's a shame that he had to use his Onslaught Shadows to get out of the fight. I think if he kind of just all in and went in, RNG might have been able, FPX might have been able to win that fight. But how, all things considered, the fight was really split. It was it was pretty split. It was Tian and Crisp on one side fighting out Xiaohu, Gala, and Ming, and on the other side it was everyone else just duking it out. As we see here, the ultimate coming in there, only really tagging out Ming, and then Tian forcing to jump out, and then in goes Gala for him as Chris tries to peel Gala off of Tian, loses his life for it, but Nuguri seeing his opportunity, jumping in onto Crying, but Crying had already completed his Zonias, and then the gravity field kind of just stunning him out, putting in that last slap here, and then Tian trying to just jump and do as much damage to Gala as possible, but the buster shot kind of one-shotting him. Luckily for him, LWX still had his ultimate, was able to get one more auto attack off before recalling the feathers, and at that point in time, Gala did not have any mobility, heal, or anything. As you look at the damage graphs, Gala contributed all the damage in that last fight. Crying really just was one-shotted almost by Nuguri, as RNG with 5 people on the top side of the map sieging down this tower, finally getting ahead yet again of the tower push. And meanwhile, FPX not able to get too much across the map. We'll probably just get some damage on this tower and probably lead them to lose some CS. But really, overall, things are starting to slip in favor of RNG if you ask me. Despite the fact that FPX have a gold lead still from somewhere. Yeah, I'm not really sure where this gold lead is coming in from RNG. Maybe it's from the CS discrepancies across the board, I suppose, because somehow Wei has managed to come back in terms of CS and get ahead of Tian. Both junglers, however, are at 2 items, so it's not too significant of a lead, but I'm feeling that RNG have an easier composition to kind of play. Actually, I don't know because Xiaohu's really not doing too much damage. Crying has kind of just been like focused down so far. So I guess the only person we're able to see do the damage is Gala, and he's definitely been, doing it, coming through in spades. Ming so far, after all the playmaking is actually done. Actually, that last fight where Tian got a nice flank off, Ming solo tanking the shockwave and just hooking out Tian was great. Nuguri getting stunned out there, waiting more damage traded onto him than he managed to trade on. Ming looking to hook out LWX here, and LWX actually is front lining in front of a Nautilus. Shock Blast comes ringing through. Baron is spawning in a minute's time. Looks like FPX just want to use their advantage to get some vision to secure Wrestle Vision away from RNG in this top side of the map. Okay, a much more even game going so far as almost any that went in the first series between RNG and FPX in round four, sorry. As let's see what goes on here. Now, the big plays that we're gonna have to watch. We're gonna have to watch on RNG, we're gonna have to watch Ming, and we're gonna have to watch Gala. And everyone else is kind of secondary. I suppose Wei is going to try and get in and slap as many people as he can. On side of FPX, we're going to want to watch Doing B and Tian's combo, and then see what Nuguri can do, and see if LWX manages to get some damage through as well. There's no one really available to zone him aside from the depth charge coming in. And let's see how the game goes. So soon we're going to have a contest. We're going to have a fight on our hands, because first it's going to be the Vision fight, and then it's going to be the Baron tug of war. And after that, once Baron is taken by either team, there's going to be a fight. Have no questions about that. There's going to be a fight 100%. Now let's see if the two steely cool blades, I suppose, that are FPX and RNG, who have so far traded fantastic blows, sparks flying everywhere. Let's see if they can continue this entertainment, as Vision is in favor of RNG right now. FPX must check into blindness and in order to approach this Baron, which has just now spawned. Crying is being pinged out. Half mana, does not have blue buff based on what I'm looking at from his secondary resource. Yeah, he does not have one at all, as FPX now with mid priority are moving in to try and secure as much as they can, as Tian trying to run forward onto Wei. Needs to be careful, however, as Ming is in the area. Ming at level 11, as is Crisp. Very, 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 very underleveled are both supports, as LWX eating a Shock Blast to the face. Accelerator Shock Blast kind of squishing him up. Hopefully he does have some lifesteal, as in jumps Wei. Nuguri is chunked out by the Buster Shot as well, as Ming flashing over. He gets LWX! LWX gets exploded as a 3-man shockwave comes in. Chris falling out with the CC as Nuguri jumps in as well, trying to get Crying, but he's jumped on by Gala, Crying, and Xiaohu as the backline just collapses onto him. A beautiful hook coming in there by Ming. Ming winning out that team fight. Somehow, amongst all of the people, amongst the cluster that was available, Ming flashes in and gets a hook onto LWX. LWX did have his not have his Featherstorm available, I'm sorry. And it's just incinerated before he can kind of move. Unbelievable play coming here. Doing B, of course, that opened up. Oh, Gala jumping in, gets chunked out by Doing B, which really just stymies his aggression. But Tian is getting escorted out. Phase Rush is available for Xiaohu, and Tian is taken out. But on the other side, Red Crying is taken down by the combined effort of Doing B and Crisp. Gala is in the area. It's a 2v2 situation, as in flashes Doing B, gets his damage off, and Gala unfortunately does not have a flash, does not have the mobility necessary to fight out Doing B. Doing B, nice play, wrestling again. Back and forth, tug of war. FPX just taking it as giving as good as they can take, I suppose. As now Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. RNG, I think they very much enjoy being able to fight this. Gala will only respawn after Dragon has spawned, however, which means I think FPX can opt to sneak it away. That being said, FPX can look to be a bit more greedy and go for the higher HP Baron instead. Let's see what they do here. Pings are going down, and based on the map movements of FPX, looks like they're going to settle for a Baron buff. For a Dragon, third stack Dragon instead of the Baron. Nuguri looking to start this out with LWX, but they're sending the last 3 players onto the top side of the map to ensure that they don't lose Baron to a sneak attempt from RNG, because despite not having Gala, they still do have a fair amount of damage. Speaking of which, Gala at 5.5 items at this point in time, while LWX is still at 4.5. So Gala doing tons of damage. Ming, hero plays. MVP, my MVP vote, 100% going over to Ming. Ming just making huge plays over there. Now let's see what unfolds before our very eyes. Let's take note of the stopwatches in either team's inventory. Nuguri with his stopwatch, as well as Azania's available in the mid lane for Crying, and those are the only 2 stasises available. Of course, Gala has his stopwatch as well, building towards his GA. Needs to be able to stay alive for these fights, because a lot of the damage, of course, is going to come from him. Crying, actually, having fully stacked up his tier, is building out towards his Seraphs, as either team just wrestles vision from each other. RNG, seeing the FPX have backed off, actually have full vision control as well as full control over the entire pit. Their jungle, in fact, is pretty warded up as well. Need to be. There's nothing too much to be afraid of, honestly, in terms of a flank TP coming in from a Jace. But I suppose Jace could potentially one-shot Doing B, because LWX I think is going to be pretty safe. Of course, Doing B of course has Zonias as well as Crying is teleporting away, feeling as though he was getting collapsed upon, not wanting to allow himself to get killed, because of course, last time he was picked in the top lane, Baron went over in favor of FPX. Now, Xiaohu has pushed out the bottom side, is a signal for FPX to start up the Baron. Wei is in the area, level 15 to level 15 of Tian, so it's an even smite fight. However, Wei needs to get through Crisp as he channels the taunt. Hook comes into Ming to try and disrupt as much as he can, but the shockwave comes out, pulling two people in. But unfortunately, Chris is sacrificed for this 4v5 situation as Nuguri is split off from the rest of his team. Wei jumping in on him, Crying is in the area as well, but Nuguri using his ultimate. Cry dropping the gravity field onto him, but Gala jumps over Nuguri using his stopwatch, but in comes Tian. Tian rocketed over the wall. Elderbex is available, but out comes Nuguri, and instantly Gala goes down, as does Crying. Ming flashed onto by Elderbex. I don't know how worth it that is, because in the later fights it might be important, as Tian just looks to 1v1 Xiaohu with the help of Doing B. And just like that, I think the game might be over. Baron in favor of FPX. So far, fantastic plays coming in here. I didn't think they'd win that. It was a 4v5 situation. Chris had to sacrifice his life to ensure that Wei could not get into the pit, and he was unceremoniously very much traded back because of that. No one is alive on the side of RNG for 20 seconds. This game's over. The game's over. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. The game is actually over. As yeah, both the Nexus turrets fall, and game 1 of FPX vs RNG comes to an end in quite an anticlimactic fashion. I'm not quite an anticlimactic fashion. I suppose there was too much riding on Gala's shoulders. Crying really wasn't able to do too much against that. Irelia in team fights, as Irelia just continuously just sprinted it down on him. I think all is good, but Doing B is just having a conversation here with the Empires, it seems. It looks like he may have had some technical difficulties towards the end, which he just continued to play through. And with that, now he enters the player's room. Ladies and gentlemen, so far that was a pretty exciting game, I am not going to lie. Very back and forth, RNG showing some great resolve. I think they've fixed their initial problems. Wei was a bit behind at one point in time, but he managed to get back ahead, and then RNG playing well together, playing the map perfectly. I think the draft very much went in favor of RNG, but FPX still able to wrestle it back, able to get that last bit of energy, scrape the bottom of the barrel, and pull in game 1. Very nicely played. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I guess we will see you for game 2 tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and see ya!